When will it happen? You've been trying to manifest a new reality for what seems like ages. You've done the meditations, you've done the affirmations, you've done the acting as if you burned how much sage, you talked to how many crystals, yet your life is not changing. You're not able to manifest the reality that you desire. You're not able to manifest the money, the partner, the car, whatever it is that you're looking to do or looking to receive within reality. In this video, I'm going to show you how to know when you are going to receive what it is you desire and what you're doing that's getting in the way of your manifestation capabilities. Because this very question is a big problem for your manifestation capabilities. I'm going to use the hermetic laws of the universe to explain this to you. So, let's get into it. Firstly, you'll need to understand that reality is broken up into three parts. This is the law of correspondence. We have the spiritual, we have the mental, we have the physical. They all influence one another. They're all connected. The spiritual affects mental, mental affects physical, physical affects mental, mental affects spiritual, mental affects spiritual and physical. The mind is the bridge between the spiritual and the physical. Everything originates from the spiritual plane. The peak of the spiritual plane is the all. As the Hermetics call it, this is the concept of God, Allah, Brahman, the universe, the Big Bang, the creation spark of the universe. Whatever creation originates from, it originates from the all. Now, this is a game within you. The all is not something outside of you. Often religious texts make people think that God is something outside of them when this is a game happening within you. Okay? So, if you want to manifest things in your life, you need to embody the traits of the all. Now, there are 4 specific traits that are exclusive to the all energy, sometimes called the light as well. The 4 qualities are timeless, spaceless, massless, chargeless. We are going to be mainly concerned with time and charge. God, the all, the universe, is timeless, spaceless, massless, and chargeless. Now, as you descend further down into the physical plane, you get more time, you get more space, you get more mass, you get more charge. So down here, we got time, space, mass, charge. What you need to understand is that the fact that you are thinking about time is trapping you in time. It is trapping you in the physical realm. Time is a physical realm construct. Time is not anything to the all. If you want to manifest things, you need to stop living within the time element, or at least thinking within the time element. Why is this? Because of the law of vibration. So up here we have fast. Down here in the physical plane, we have slow. And there's all sorts of different rates of vibration within reality. The all is vibrating so quickly that it is still. Be still and know that I am God. God. Psalms 46:10. The rest of that psalm goes on to talk about the fear of God and how fantastically powerful God is and all these sorts of things. But that one particular phrase is often used to explain the stillness of God, the stillness of the all, the stillness of the initial spark of creation. So here's fast, here's slow. This is the concept of vibration. Vibration is built upon your thoughts and emotions. Your mind uses electric signals to create thoughts and to create emotions. You are an electrochemical being. So when you think something, an electric signal moves through the mind in a measurement called hertz. And if you continue to have the same thoughts and the same emotions, you will now create a frequency of thought, a frequency of emotion. This is how you get your frequency. I come from the music industry as a sound engineer. It was my job to intimately understand vibration and frequency. There are not much people probably on the internet who understand it similar to me. There might be people who know it better than me, but I know it quite well. Okay. So this is how you create a vibration. Now your frequency is going to determine what your reality is, because it's going to determine what it is you see within mind. Your frequency is what you frequently see. It is what your mind and your emotions are continuously telling you. Now here's the thing. In the mind, you deem things as negative and positive. And since you're constantly thinking about, when is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? When am I going to get the money? When am I going to get the job? When am I going to get the relationship? You have all these charged up emotions of likely fear, maybe worry, shame, guilt, all these sorts of emotions. On the other side of this, you might have, instead of fear, you'll have fantasy. Instead of worry, you'll have stress-free. Sorry, the writing's a little small here. Sorry. But you get the point. There's going to be an opposite emotion here. But ultimately, these are polarized states. And right now, you're on this side. Remember, you're thinking about time constantly, okay? And you're on this side. So, when it comes to frequency, if you are constantly thinking about time and worrying about time and have fear about how long it's going to take, what's going to happen? The spiritual plane says, oh, he's thinking about time all of the time. So that's a frequency. Time is a frequency that they're constantly thinking about. So I'm going to give them more time to think about. I'm going to import more time. Now this sounds crazy to a lot of people, like, yo, don't we all have the same 24 hours? Let me ask you something. You ever been in a wait room waiting for your number to be called? And you go, when am I going to get called? 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 And it seems like the time takes forever to pass. Forever to pass. Why? Because you're focused on the time. If you focus on the time, all you're going to think about is time. It's pretty annoying, huh? It's pretty annoying. Not to mention you're thinking about time constantly, so reality's importing this down to you, right? You're thinking about time in the mind and you're getting this imported down into your reality. You're also constantly in fear and worry about when will it happen? And really what you're saying is, I don't think it will happen. Now you have doubt. I don't think it will happen. And here's what occurs in your mind now. You create a frequency loop. You have thought and you have emotions. Your thoughts create emotions and vice versa. Your emotions create thoughts and you get this loop. You have this fear, you have this worry. Oh my goodness, It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm afraid everything's going to be problematic. I'm not going to survive. I'm worried. I'm worried about money. I'm worried about being single forever. I'm worried. I'm worried. No, no, no. Emotions. And now you have thoughts. How long is this going to take? Oh my goodness, this is never working. It's not working. And you get on this loop. And the loop creates a frequency. I'm just telling you what you're doing incorrectly right now, and I'm going to tell you what to do soon. Now, if I was to draw a frequency, it will look something like this. It's not perfect, but you are constantly swinging back and forth, okay, between what you deem to be positive on the upside, negative on the downside. Positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. Whatever, you get the point. You're constantly swinging back and forth between these emotions. And this is due to the concept of rhythm. My mentor, Lewis Mocker, created something called the cosmic pendulum to explain the concept of rhythm. There is a pendulum running through your mind, through your reality, that swings you back and forth between negative and positive perceptions. I want you to understand something. This side is no better than this side. This side over here is still a charged state. It's still a polarized state. And whatever happens with polarization, you always swing back to the other side somehow. The pendulum swing to the left is the pendulum swing to the right. So you are stuck in a rhythm. So you have fear and worry and all this stuff about what's going to happen. And then you go on social media looking for the solution of when will it happen? Why is this not working? You come on social media looking for the solution, looking for a fantasy of what is going to occur, looking for the fantasy of what your life will be, looking for how to become stress-free. And then it doesn't work. And then you go back over here, fear and worry and shame. And then you have to go find another video. And this is how you get addicted to social media in particular. This is how you get addicted. Because you have such emotional investment on the outcome of whatever it is you desire. The key is to become less emotionally invested. To cancel out the charges of worry and fear and fantasy and stress, and stop thinking to yourself, when will it happen? Because it's really just saying, I don't think it will happen. If you don't think it will happen, what do you think that tells the universe? Well, it doesn't think it's going to happen, so it's not going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Sorry. So, how do you fix this? Because the reason you're thinking about this is because you have a perception of lack in the mind. There's something you want that you don't have. Perception of lack. Perception of lack creates a frequency of lack, frequency of problems. Now, there are a lot of people out there who will tell you you can manifest from your feelings, which you can. But before I get there, I want you to look at this frequency again. I want you to understand these peaks and valleys, right? These peaks and valleys. It's not drawn perfectly, but they are equal distant apart in a frequency. So in life, you will continually have ups and downs and ups and downs. This is rhythm. The only reason you are down or feel down now is because you were once up. And the only reason you were once up is because you were once down. So once again, when you're saying when will it happen, you're once again living in time and thinking that the current state you're in is going to last all the time. If you think it's going to last all the time, then guess what? It's going to last all the time. When you understand and have awareness, which is just your frequency, that's all it is. Higher frequency is just higher level of awareness. The more aware you become that this is not going to last forever and that this is just part of the game of reality, downtime sometimes, then you won't be swayed and you won't be bothered. And one way to completely eliminate this feeling of lack and this like, oh my gosh, this time is going to last forever and I'm never going to have what I want. is to understand that reality is rigged in my favor. I purposely wrote my and not your because when you read it, I want you to be able to say reality is rigged in my favor. Because even when you read something in the mind, a process called subvocalization occurs, which makes your vocal cords move to actually say the words. Speech is the physical realm form of vibration. So when you say this, it changes this whole rhythmic swing because you start to realize reality is rigged in my favor. So everything bad that's happened in my life has actually been in my favor. Everything that's quote unquote good that's happened in my life has been in my favor. If the current events of my life did not occur, I would not be watching this video right now. That's going to help me to change my reality. Now, back to manifesting from your emotions. You can manifest from your emotions. You can manifest from sadness. You can manifest from anger. You can manifest from greed. You can manifest from so much emotions. But there are some that are better to use than others. And I call these the higher feelings. These are things like, I'm going to erase some of the pendulum in here. Okay. Gratitude. This is the main one. Gratitude and calm. I'll put. Why? Why gratitude? Gratitude is super important. And you hear people say this on the internet in the manifestation space. Be grateful, be grateful, be grateful. And you're just like, yo, I'm grateful and my life is still trash. I still want stuff. My life is still garbage. Why? Because you're actually not grateful. That's why. You need to be grateful. Okay? You need to be grateful for the negative situation that you're in and be thankful that problems are occurring. Let me tell you something. Last month, okay, I had one of my businesses, because I run several businesses. One of my businesses did 50% less revenue. 50% less. So imagine last month you made half the money that you normally make. Most people will be panicked. Oh my gosh, fear, worry, oh my goodness, everything's going to be messed up. I'm not going to be able to pay bills, can't pay rent. Oh my gosh, And you're going to get on this emotional swing. But me, luckily, now knowing the laws of reality, I know that this is just a swing of rhythm and that this time will pass. And the less bothered I am by it and the less I ask this question, when will it happen, the quicker it will pass. Because it can't capture my frequency. It can't get me in a state of lack. It can't get me in a swung up situation because reality is rigged in my favor. And I'm actually grateful that it happened. Why? Because now I get to see what's going wrong. I get to see, oh, how did this happen? How can we make sure this doesn't happen again? I get to check in with my staff and see what's going on. I get to become a better business person. So now this month, it's not 50% down. It's closer to like 30. And the next month, it'll be higher and higher until we're back on track or beyond. You understand? Because reality is rigged in my favor. And I don't ask this question, when will it happen? I don't ask this question because I know it will happen. The other element you need is patience. People tell you this, okay? They're like, be patient. And then people sit around and wait and don't do anything. Let me tell you something. True patience is knowing that it will happen. That's what patience actually is. Certainty in knowing that what you desire will happen. Now, when you're grateful, when you're calm, when you're patient, you are embodying qualities of the all. Because When you have the things that you desire, the money that you desire, the relationship that you want, the job that you want, whatever it is that you are aiming to manifest, you're probably going to be quite grateful, and you're going to be calm, and you're going to be patient. You need to utilize these feelings now, because these feelings import through the mind, through the subconscious, down into reality. Because you are telling the universe you want more things to be grateful for, more things to be calm about, even more things to be patient about. Knowing it will happen, having certainty that it will happen. You're no longer going to think about time. You're no longer going to think about when. You're just going to have a knowing that it will. Me, I make these YouTube videos, I build my business, etc. I have no doubt that what I desire will occur on my time, because reality is rigged in my favor. When it's supposed to happen, it will happen. And the more you think about time, the more you will stay in time. But the more you move in these feelings, the more you become timeless. And then when you are no longer emotionally swung up on the result that you want, you collapse time. When you actually truly no longer business about what it is you're aiming for, like you're good whether it happens and you're good whether it doesn't happen. Once you do that, you collapse the time, and it's going to happen very quickly, if not instantly. I'll give you an example of this. I originally come from the music business, artist, producer, sound engineer, right? And there was a time when I hadn't put out music for a while, and no one was heard the stuff I had put out. And I was like, man, I need all this stuff. I need PR, I need managers, I need all this nonsense, which I didn't need, right? And I was on a hunt to find people to help me. But I got to a point where I hadn't put out any music, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just going to put out 7 songs in 7 weeks. I don't care if people hear it. If people hear it, fine, cool. So 6 weeks pass, and I'm chalking up the whole thing as a loss because nobody has heard it. Nobody's heard anything. But then my younger brother calls me and he goes, Seth, I heard one of your songs on a playlist called Hip Hop Central, and it has 50,000 streams on Spotify. I said, 50 who? 50 what? 50,000? He's like, yeah, 50,000 streams on Spotify. I didn't know what Spotify was at the time. This was years ago. So I go get Spotify now and go check it. And I'm next to her and these R&B acts and all this type of stuff. And the song has 50,000 streams. That song now has over 500,000 streams, and I have over 3 million streams on Spotify. You know why? I didn't care. I didn't care. Do you understand? The less you care, the quicker it happens. So you need to stop getting so wrapped up in the result and be grateful for what you already have, and be grateful for what you have in imagination. If you already feel the sense of gratitude for what it is you desire, you will surely have it. With that being said, if you need any help with this, more direct help, you can work one-on-one with me, or you can join my group program, The Next Realm, where I have tools and methods to really make you go through this, no longer get swung up in rhythm, have true gratitude, and no longer deal with the stretch of time and get stuck in the frequency of time and fear and worry and polarization. You will collapse time and get the things you desire. I'll see you next time. Peace.